Hey guys, it's Tim and this is Wrestling Unlimited, as it's Wednesday and we're here to talk about everything that went down tonight on AEW Dynamite. I think overall, Dynamite was a pretty good show for an episode of Dynamite. I thought it could have been a little bit better as a go-home show for, as some may say, your biggest pay-per-view of the year. But all in all, I thought as an episode of Dynamite, it was really good. We'll get into it. I don't know if you saw my tweet. What the fuck is this build for the world title main event? Because that I didn't like. But there was good wrestling on the show. I will say, as with most weeks of Dynamite and AEW, good wrestling on this show. But with that, I do want to say thank you if you are watching live, twitch.tv/PW Unlimited. I also want to say thank you if you're watching or listening later, whether that's youtube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited or podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Now, as far as the rest of the week goes, I do want to preface some things. Tomorrow, there is an AEW media call with Tony Khan, and I want to say 10 a.m. Let me double check the time on that. 10 a.m. Pacific. I could double check that time right now. We cannot stream those live, but as soon as it's over, it'll go up here on the YouTube channel. It'll go up on PW Unlimited YouTube channel for you guys to watch and listen to. So just know that soon as it is over, I will, boom, be uploading it to YouTube. I'll record it. We just can't stream it live for some reason. So we got that. Friday, we'll have the wrap up in the morning. We'll have the SmackDown review on Friday evening. I will also be doing Rampage during that review as well, because it is a live Rampage and it is the final Rampage before a pay-per-view. And I say, whenever there's a big reason to watch Rampage, we'll review Rampage. If it's a live episode, especially before a pay-per-view, we will review that. So Friday night, we will be reviewing SmackDown and Rampage. Saturday, we've got Clash at the Castle. Then Sunday, I'm not sure how I'm doing Sunday. I know for sure we will be reviewing All Out, but I'm not sure about the review for Worlds Collide, because I'm very interested in Worlds Collide. I don't know if we're going to do that review in conjunction with the All Out review, maybe do it before All Out starts, or wait and do it Monday morning as part of the wrestling wrap-up, and then pull it for podcast and YouTube and this and that separately. But I will let you guys know when we're going to review, when we're going to review Worlds Collide. I'm going to be doing some predictions for that. I believe tomorrow I'll do my predictions. At the end of this podcast, we will be doing our All Out predictions. And then Friday, I think what I'm going to do is on the back end, on the second half, the end of the Friday morning wrestling wrap-up, I will be doing my Clash at the Castle predictions for that there as well. So, yeah. We got a lot coming and going this week, plus all the news in professional wrestling. But with that, if you are watching live on Twitch, help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and they always give you one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month, and I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. And remember, it can be anybody's Amazon Prime account, whether that's your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your grandma, your grandpa, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma's sister's brother-in-law, your grandma's sister's brother-in-law's uncle, your uncle's wife's mother, anybody. It can be anybody's Amazon Prime account. Just link it to your Twitch. But on the flip side, if you're watching on YouTube, you can help us out over there as well by hitting that join button down below to become a channel member. As a channel member, you get early access to news, early access to podcast episodes, early access to non-news videos, and so much more. Ultra Killjoy Army says, so I can use my high school teacher from 12 years ago's Prime? Sure can. Sure can. You can use anybody's Amazon Prime. Just link it to your Twitch. Also, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether that is a new game, whether that is an old game, whether you're claiming the free games or getting bucks for Rocket League, Fortnite, Fall Guys, or Rumbleverse, use the code right here, PW Unlimited. Use creator code PW Unlimited at checkout on all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. You'll be supporting us without having to spend anything extra, without having to spend any extra money. You'll be supporting us. But with that, we've got AEW Dynamite to talk about. Let's jump right into it. The show kicks off with the undisputed AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley, or as Justin Roberts calls him, Jon Moxley! Because you're going to be like Justin Roberts, you're going to call him Gian. Gian! That's how he does it. Gian. It's not John, it's Gian. Moxley makes his way down to the ring and he cuts a fiery promo where I thought, because he was so fiery and so red-faced and so like, I thought his fucking head was going to pop off. He was just like, I'm like, whoa. So Moxley gets boozed because, well, they're in Chicago and he's talking shit on Punk. Crowd starts chanting for CM Punk and he goes, oh, you want me to just get right into it and start talking about that now? Well, let's go. Moxley said that they were still mopping Punk off the mat all the way back in Cleveland. Moxley noted that Punk used to be known as the 60-minute man back in the Indies. And I go, he was? He was? I never heard that. Maybe I just didn't follow him enough in the Indies. I followed him in ROH, but nothing really, like, before Punk went to WWE, I followed him in ROH and then anything he did with Raven outside of ROH. That was it. Like, I've watched most of his good portion, maybe not most, but a good portion of his ROH career. And anytime I heard Punk did a match with Raven somewhere, I go, oh, I need to watch that. Because Punk-Raven matches were always freaking great. So if he was known as the 60-minute man on the Indies, I never heard that. But regardless, Moxley said, last week, that wasn't true, because I had 57 more minutes in me and you couldn't go. Moxley said that Punk looked for a way out last week and basically just gave up. And that a real champion never gives up, never folds. Center this camera. There we go. Moxley said that Punk was just too fragile and has a fragile ego. Fragile mind, fragile body, fragile spirit. He then said that he's got an open contract for this Sunday at All Out. He's already signed it. He's going to leave the contract right in the middle of the ring. Anybody that wants to come and grab it and sign it, well, they can sign it and face him at the pay-per-view for the title. Moxley said that it doesn't matter who came for him. He was indomitable and will personify what it means to be a world champion. That he was the heart and soul of this company in professional wrestling, and that it was bad for their health to step into the ring with him. I thought for the most part the promo was good, but you 100% can see where it's going. You 100% can see where it's going. Moxley leaves the contract in the ring. He walks out. He leaves, and all of a sudden Ace Steel runs down, grabs the contract, and like, oh my God, that's Ace Steel. He's one of the closest friends to CM Punk. What does this mean? Does this mean he's going to give the contract to CM Punk? And my first, thought was, oh, Lord. So Punk's just going to get the contract, sign it, and go, I got another title match. But it wasn't even that. It was actually worse than what I thought it was going to be. The Punk stuff tonight sucked. Yes, I screamed it because I believed that wholeheartedly that it sucked. The CM Punk stuff to get him into the world title match on Sunday sucked. Capital S, capital U, capital C, capital K, capital S sucked. The way they built this matchup for Sunday blew big chunky chunks. We'll get into it in a little bit, but I am less interested in seeing a rematch for the title, Moxley Punk, than I was going into tonight. I'm like, they might do something creative to get me interested and build up this match, the rematch. After Punk went down in 3 minutes last week. Oh, yeah, no. I was like, I'm interested. I ain't interested no more. I ain't interested no more. The whole storyline to get this match going sucked tonight. Big old sucks. So in the back, Chris Jericho was with Tony Schiavone. Jericho claimed that the match with him and Danielson at All Out was a nightmare. Will be a nightmare. Jericho said that Stu and Owen Hart would be impressed with how he's changed the game. He was talking when Daniel Garcia would then interrupt. Garcia basically said, I'm sorry how I acted last week. I was a little immature. And I just, again, want to say I'm sorry and tell you that I'm loyal to the JAS. I'm loyal to the Jericho Appreciation Society. Jericho said that on Sunday, it would be just him and Danielson. But until then, everything's fair game before All Out. So next up, we had Bryan Danielson versus Jake Hager. Chris Jericho was on commentary, and so was William Regal. So Danielson opened up the match, and he and Hager did some, MMA-looking stuff, I guess you could say. Back and forth. Grappled a little bit and so forth, and did a couple other things. Danielson then hit a tope suicida to the floor on Hager and went for a dive, but Hager caught Danielson and slammed him through the timekeeper's table. Hager then began to work over the back of Danielson, slamming him into the ring post and suplexing him on the floor. Hager got the heat with some ground and pound and hard strikes for the next few minutes of this match. Give me 1 second. I just got a message from somebody that I need to check. All right, so that was not what I thought it was. All right, so back to the match. Danielson made a comeback by shoving Hager off the ropes and hitting a missile drop kick before using some hard kicks on Hager and then chopping him down. Hager countered a triangle choke and hit a power bomb. Danielson and Hager exchanged some submission attempts, but Hager made it to the ropes. After a quick exchange, Danielson hit a Busaku knee and then picked up the victory. And no. He hit the Busaku knee. Yeah, picked up the Busaku knee and then picked up the victory when then Daddy Magic and Angelo Parker would run down to the ring when Wheeler Yuta and Claudio Castagnoli would actually run down to make the save. Danielson was then left all alone in the ring, and Jericho ran down with a chair. As Jericho was looking to hit Danielson with the chair, out would come Daniel Garcia. Garcia would jump up on the apron, grab the chair from Jericho, not allowing him to use it. This then allowed Jericho to be distracted, and when Jericho turned around, knee to the face from Danielson. Garcia then had the look on his face like, oh, I just fucked up. So then we had a weird segment. The wingmen were in the ring, and they had these pickets and these signs or whatever you want to call them, these picket signs, like, wingmen need more time on TV. Get the wingmen on TV. And they're like, we're the wingmen. And from now on, this day is known as Wingmen Wednesday. And I forget who said it on commentary, but someone goes, oh, yeah, really? Really now? And then music starts playing. I go, what music is this? Because as soon as I see them, I go, oh, who's coming out to beat their asses and get over big? What monster? I thought maybe Wardlow was going to come out and whoop them all. But no, it was W. Morrissey. W. Morrissey makes his way out to the ring. It seems like he may have signed with AEW by the way they were talking about him, which would be a good get. And he basically beats them all down. He takes out all of the wingmen. He chokeslams JD Drake. He chokeslams Ryan Nemeth. And then Stokely Hathaway makes his way out to the ring, and he hands Morrissey a card. Morrissey then lays out the rest of the wingmen with choke slams. Tony Schiavone then meets them on the ramp, and he's like, Stokely Hathaway, what are these cards we've been seeing you pass out? And Stokely's like, He grabs Tony. He's like, it's not your what did he say? Hold on. My mind just went blank. Not your, oh, fuck. My mind just went blank. Oh, he grabs him and he starts shaking Tony Schiavone. It's none of your business. It's none of your business, Schiavone. And Tony's like, well, I'm out here doing this show and we're here to enlighten the crowd and the fans and the people watching them. So yeah, it's kind of my business. And basically, he refused to give an answer. And there we go. He and Morrissey walk off together. So we know that Stokely is looking for one more person for his male group. He's got the ass boys, I guess you can call them. He's got, who is it all? He's got Ethan Page. Let me look this up. Stokely Hathaway. Stokely. He posted a graphic last week on Twitter with a missing piece to it, basically. Stokely Hathaway deleted his Twitter? What? It almost looks like the Stokely Hathaway Twitter account is gone. Huh. Stokely Hathaway deleted his Twitter. Well, never mind then. Because he posted a graphic last week where there was somebody in the first image. The second image was Ethan Page. The third image was the Ass Boys. And then there was just a black spot where I assume Morrissey's going to fit in. Ethan says, is the All Elise post on Twitter for Cass? Not that I saw, but I can go look really fast. Hey, no, it'd be from Tony Khan probably. We can go look really fast, but I don't think, yeah, no. Tony didn't post anything saying that he's All Elite. Now, here's the thing with W. Morrissey. I know WWE was interested in bringing him back. Triple H was interested in bringing back Big Cass. So if he's signed with AEW, it's a big get for them because he was somebody that WWE was looking for. I was told by two different sources that Triple H is interested in Big Cass. So yeah, they haven't posted that he's All Elite just yet. Lee Moriarty. Thank you, Kid Vicious. That was the first person. Lee Moriarty, Ethan Page, Ass Boys. That was what it was. Thank you, Kid Vicious. Don Callis greets Will Ospreay in his locker room and said that he was no longer the same guy that he was when he lost to the One-Winged Angel in a tag match in New Japan, which Ospreay did not take well. We then had a women's tag team match. It was Toni Storm and Hikaru Shida against Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter with Rebel. Match was all right. Nothing special, to be honest. Toni Storm got the advantage on Britt Baker in the early portions of this match, but was soon attacked by Jamie Hayter, who simply entered the ring and dropped her when she got too close to the opposing corner. The announcers noted that Toni had surgery to remove her wisdom teeth recently, and apparently Baker began to target the jaw of Toni Storm. Baker then went for an avalanche air raid crash off the top rope, but Storm fought off and hit a tornado DDT before tagging out to Shida. Shida hit a Meteora on Hayter, but the pinfall was broken up by Baker. Shida then hit a kick on Baker by pulling Hayter off, before pulling Hayter off the apron. Toni Storm then hit a hip attack on Baker and immediately floated through the ropes into a tornado DDT on Hayter on the floor. Shida then hit a katana and a buzzsaw kick to the head of Britt Baker for the pinfall victory. I thought the match was good, not great. Better than what we normally see from the AEW's women's division. I mean, it started off all right, and it got better as the match went on. So I will say that that was a positive. That it was a match that started off all right, and as the match went, got better and better. There's a recap video of Kip Sabian attacking Pac last week. The voiceover was accompanied by highlights of Pac's matches all over Europe, with Sabian looking on in the crowd, before ending with Sabian promising to become the new All-Atlantic champion. And my first thought was, what the fuck have you done to deserve this title shot? You've sat on the sidelines for over a year, doing nothing. And your first match back, like Kip Sabian has not had a match since, let's see. Kip Sabian's last match was in AEW, March 25th, 2021. March 25th, 2021. Now, he did work a BWR show in the UK the 1st of July. But that's it. He worked that match, and then he hadn't worked before since March 25th, 2021. The Anarchy Arcade match, where he and Miro lost. So it's like, what the hell has this guy done to deserve a title shot? Nothing. Nothing. And that's one big criticism I have of AEW. I mean, WWE does it to an extent, but not as much as they used to, especially now that Triple H is taking over. Of just randomly, here, this guy's going to get a title shot. Randomly, oh, this guy's going to get a shot at the title. Kip Sabian ain't even ranked. Kip Sabian ain't even wrestled a match in a year and a half for this company. Like, ridiculous. Ridiculous. He don't deserve this shot. He don't deserve this title match. Miro then cuts a cryptic promo about how he was going to destroy the House of Black. Darby then walks in and said that Brody King and Buddy Matthews didn't need Malachi Black, but he, Black, needed them. Sting then walks into the View and said that the enemy of our enemy is our friend. And it appears we have a trios fight with the House of Black. So it was officially announced it's Miro, Sting, and Darby against the House of Black at the pay-per-view. CM Punk then comes down to the ring looking all kinds of disheveled. And this was, no, not it to build up to the pay-per-view, especially less than a week before the pay-per-view. 5 days, as they said. So CM Punk comes down to the ring, and he says, yep, I got beat last week in Cleveland. It wasn't the first time he got beat up there, referencing his UFC loss, because he lost in the UFC match in Cleveland. Punk said that while his foot was 100%, he wasn't sure that it was actually ready, and maybe he rushed back. He let himself, the fans, and his family all down. He said, maybe I came back too soon. Maybe I shouldn't have come back at all. Maybe it's time to hang things up. We want to thank Panda Wrestling Company for the host and raid. Really do appreciate that one. Thank you so much for that. This is when Ace Steel would walk back down to the ring. He said this wasn't the CM Punk that he knew. This wasn't the CM Punk that he trained and coached for all these many years. Steel said that Punk didn't let the fans down, and he wasn't going to let Punk leave like this. He wasn't going to let Punk walk out like this. He said that Punk needed to get up and sign this contract to fight Jon Moxley for the title. Steel on live TV said something along the lines of, you need to fucking snap out of it and sign this contract. He then slaps Punk across the face. He goes, I had a very good career, but what I'm most proud of is being your trainer, the one that trained you, the one that helped you get to where you are. To get to all of this. This then fired up Punk, who just moments before was freaking crying, basically. Oh, I'm done. I'm out of it. Maybe I should never come back. So, why the fuck? Punk gets all fired up, runs into the crowd and goes, yeah, I'll sign the contract. I'll fight Moxley. And I'm like, why should I care about CM Punk challenging Jon Moxley for the title when Punk literally just said, maybe I don't have it anymore. Maybe I don't have what it takes. Maybe I'm done. So you got slapped in the face by Ace Steel, and that all of a sudden went, opened up something in you where you go, oh no, I do have it. No, that ain't it, fam, as the kids would say. That ain't it, fam. Like, I don't care about this match because of the way it was built up. Punk coming out there and going, I don't have it. Maybe I'm done. Maybe my career is over. And then just one guy comes out and I get it. It's Ace Steel, one of the biggest people of his entire career. The guy that trained him, the guy that he was tag teaming with for a long time. I mean, TNA, they were a tag team, and on the Indies, they were. No. I get Ace Steel is important to him. One of his closest friends and mentors and all that kind of stuff. But it's still, like, why should I care? This man was just telling me that I might hang it up. This man was just moments before telling us, I don't got it. Maybe I don't have it anymore. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to do it for Chicago. And I bet you this fucker wins. I bet you they flip-flop it, and Punk wins his hometown of Chicago, Illinois. But this ain't it. This ain't it. I don't care about this main event. And someone, I posted on Twitter, and someone goes, well, just wait till Rampage. Maybe they do something on Rampage. No, they ain't. They ain't doing nothing on Rampage to hype up this match anymore. Maybe we get a video package or something. And people are like, well, what were you expecting? Moxley and fucking Punk in the ring together to build this match up, to do something, yelling at each other, fucking Punk believing in himself and not needing anybody to pep talk him and slap him into it? No. This ain't it. When he goes like, oh, you got this big old historic thing coming. No, this ain't it. We're going to change everything. No. This ain't it. I know a lot of people are like, it was a great promo. Ace Steel was great tonight. Ace Steel was passionate. He threw an F-bomb on live TV, which I don't think frickin' Warner Media Discovery, Time Warner, whatever they're called, Warner Brothers Discovery. I don't think they're going to like that after frickin' the rumor or the reports last week of them telling them, hey, cut down with the curse words. And then they drop a frickin' unbleeped out F-bomb. But anyways, there was now this I missed. I didn't actually see this. It was a Jungle Boy Christian Cage sit-down thing with Jim Ross. I actually didn't see it. So I don't know exactly what happened here, other than it probably built up to the title or the match this Sunday. But yeah, I don't know what was said, what wasn't said, if anything went down, like they started to fight or I don't know. I saw them like intro the segment. I stepped away for a minute or two, maybe more than that. And then I came back and freaking FTR was coming down to the ring. So FTR made their way out to the ring. There was a 6-man tag. It was FTR and Wardlow against the team of Silas Young, Ren Jones, and Vic Capri. So not much here. Wardlow took out Jones with the lariat, and FTR hit a series of moves after some quick tags. Jones managed to hit a punch on Harwood and tagged out to Capri. Capri then got hit with the big rig and a couple power bombs before getting pinned by Wardlow. Then Moxley came back down. And this is something they've been doing recently with Jon Moxley, where he cuts a promo, something happens, and then he comes and cuts another promo reacting. He doesn't react in the moment, which I would prefer. Like, I wish he would have came out at least on the stage or something after or like when Punk ran into the crowd and signed the contract. I would have loved for Moxley to come out, just even if he was just on the ramp, on the stage, to acknowledge he sees Punk. No, he came out 15, 20 minutes later. But Jon Moxley made his way out to the ring with a mic. Moxley promised to take Punk out in front of his hometown crowd, and that CM Punk will need a miracle to beat him on Sunday. Moxley said that he was going to make Punk experience more violence than he ever has in his entire career. I think this match needs to step. I really think this match needs like no DQ or false count anywhere. I think this match needs a step. Because we've already seen the match a week ago and it lasted 3 minutes. What is this going to be, a 15, 20-minute match? Pay-per-view? Like, if Punk couldn't go 3 minutes last week because he hurt the foot after taking 2-3 months off, and then he hurt the foot again last week, how are we supposed to believe that he's not going to hurt the foot again? How are we supposed to believe that that foot is fine to go longer next week? I mean, the one thing they got to play up is Punk cannot, like in this match, Punk should not throw a right kick. Because he threw one last week and the foot broke again or whatever. The foot was hurt. In the back, Preston Vance and Evil Uno were there talking about how Vance hurt his knee last week. And Evil Uno was going to take his spot in the trios tournament. Andrade El Idolo and Jose just randomly appear. Like, this made no effing sense. They appear and just assault Uno. Because apparently they wanted Uno to join them. He said no, and they beat his ass. I'm like, oh, I know where this is going. Uno can't compete. Silver and Reynolds needs Hangman. Because here's the thing. If these finals at the pay-per-view were the Elite versus the Dark Order, and it's just 3 members of the Dark Order, who's going to care about that? But now that it's going to be the Elite versus Reynolds, Silver, and Hangman, a little bit of care. A little bit of care. I still believe the Elite walks out victorious, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, but a little bit of care. Next up, we had a fatal four-way match. They called this a preview of the ladder match, the casino ladder match on Sunday. This match was Rey Fenix, Roosh, Dante Martin, and Wheeler Yuta. This match was really fun. I really enjoyed this match a lot. Roosh and Yuta started the match in the ring, but it didn't take long to break down to a lucha-style match with bodies flying everywhere. Martin and Fenix exchanged incredible counters and do pin attempts, but neither got the actual pin here. Fenix then hit a tope con grillo to the floor, then Yuta hit a tope suicida, and Martin hit a corkscrew dive. Roosh then hit a tope con grillo on everyone. Roosh used the camera cables as a weapon and on Fenix and Yuta on the floor. I don't know why that wasn't a DQ, but I guess it's a four-way, so there's no DQ. Roosh then managed to beat Yuta in the ring for a little bit, beat him down, before trying a superplex. Martin cut him off, but Roosh German suplexed him off the top rope into Fenix before hitting a straight jacket pile driver on Martin for a 2. Fenix then powerbombed Martin in a pin attempt that Roosh did break up. Martin then hit a poison Rana on Fenix, and Martin went for the nose dive, but Yuta cut him off. Fenix then hit a dive to the floor on Roosh, and yet Yuta did the seatbelt and managed to pin Dante Martin with Wheeler Yuta, the ROH Pure Champion, picking up the victory. Tony Schiavone then was in the back with John Silver and Alex Reynolds when they said, we're down a man now. We're not pulling out of the tournament. If we got to take the disadvantage and fight, best friends in Orange Cassidy, just the two of us, a man down, we'll do it. Yet, Hangman walks up. Hangman walked in and said, you guys need a partner? I'm here for you. I have your back. I'll team with you on Rampage. He said that he wanted to make sure that the Dark Order got the success that they deserved for being his friends. If you remember, I don't know if you guys watch BTE, but there was a whole thing of he's been training and helping train the Dark Order in the Trios tournament. But speaking of Rampage and pay-per-view coming up, we got a number of things announced as far as Rampage does go. We got Hangman Page and the Dark Order taking on the Best Friends in the final Rampage match to determine the people that will face determine the team that will go into the finals of the Trios Championship Tournament at All Out. Also, we do know that this week, QT Marshall will be taking on Ricky Starks. We also do know that Mark Henry will be sitting down with the two women that will face off for the TBS Championship at the pay-per-view, Jade Cargill and Athena. Also, Sammy Guevara and Ty Mello will be taking on Ortiz and Ruby Soho. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? This match just happened last week? Yep, it's a rematch already. As far as the pay-per-view does go, on the 0 hour, yes, there's no longer the buy-in. They're calling the pay-per-view pre-show the 0 hour. We do have Eddie Kingston versus Tomohiro Ishii with the AEW All-Atlantic Championship on the line. Pac will be defending against Kip Sabian. And finally, with the FTW Championship on the line, Hook will be defending against Angelo Parker. As far as the main card for All Out does go, Bryan Danielson will be taking on Chris Jericho. The AEW Interim Women's World Championship will be on the line when Toni Storm takes on Britt Baker, Hikaru Shida, and Jamie Hayter. Miro, Darby Allin, and Sting will be teaming up to take on the House of Black, Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, and Brody King. My mind went blank there. The TBS Championship will be online when Jade Cargill defends against Athena. Jungle Boy will be going one-on-one with Christian Cage. In another six-man tag team match, FTR will be teaming up with Wardlow to take on the team of the Motor City Machine Guns and Jay Lethal. We do have the Casino Ladder match. We're in the Casino Ladder match. We will see 8 competitors. 8 competitors will be competing in the Casino Ladder match. As in this Casino Ladder match, we will see the competitors of the ROH World Champion, Claudio Castagnoli, the ROH Pure Champion, Wheeler Yuta, Pentagon, Phoenix, Roosh, Andre El Idolo, Dante Martin, and a mystery Joker competitor. Also, we do know that Ricky Starks will be going one-on-one with Powerhouse Hobbs. We have the finals of the Trios Championship Tournament. The AEW World Championship, the AEW World Tag Team Championships will be on the line when Swerve and Our Glory defending against the Acclaimed and the World Championship. The AEW World Championship, the Undisputed World Championship will be on the line when CM Punk defends against, when Jon Moxley defends against CM Punk. And finally, next week on AEW Dynamite, the ROH Pure Championship will be on the line when Wheeler Yuta defends against Daniel Garcia. Woo! So speaking of Trios Championship Tournament Finals, one team going into that match. Josh says, the mystery person is MJF. Bro, that would be the most anticlimactic way to bring back MJF. That would be the worst way to bring back MJF. The worst way. Because no one would care. No one would care. I mean, you might, because you said it, but most won't. Don Callis noted on commentary that Omega's shoulder brace is gone because his rehab is going extremely well. Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega started off the match, and commentary was like, oh my God, this match is breaking down already between these two, and we're giving it to you on free TV. Well, technically, it's not free TV because it's cable, and you got to pay for cable. It's not like SmackDown on Fox. That's what you call free TV. Anyways, I digress. There was a lot of rapid action here and a lot of hard chops, especially from from Omega to Ospreay. Aussie Open and the Bucks brawled in the ring at one point. The Bucks managed to low bridge them and send them to the floor. Meanwhile, Ospreay sent Omega to the floor as well. Aussie Open then sandwiched Omega between the Young Bucks after they caught them on dives, and then commentary then said that this is a hard-hitting, high-paced action, and both teams need to not get hurt. Nobody needs to get hurt in this match because you don't want to win and then go into the title match on Sunday, possibly hurt. So I don't know if there's going to be some sort of a thing where somebody is not at 100% on Sunday. I don't know. At one point, Ospreay hit a Sky Twister press on Omega as the teams brawled back on the ramp. Matt Jackson hit a flip dive on the ramp onto everyone. The crowd was red hot for everything Ospreay and Omega both did. Ospreay then kept trying to get Omega, but it did not work in his favor as the Bucks kept him isolated for a little bit. Mark Davis then overpowered the Young Bucks by slamming them at the same time. Omega came in and used some fast-paced offense, like hitting a dragon suplex on everyone. Ospreay then came in and hit a hook kick before the Os Cutter, but Omega countered it. Ospreay then countered a Tiger suplex and hit a Rana to send Omega to the floor. Ospreay then went for a Sasuke special, but Omega dodged and hit a dragon suplex on the floor to Ospreay. Aussie Open then hit delayed vertical suplexes on Omega in the ring. Ospreay ripped the compression shirt of Omega, who was covered in tape on his shoulder and ribs. Omega then took a beating for the next couple of minutes. Omega then made the hot tag to Nick Jackson, who ran wild, ending with a moonsault into a tornado DDT on Ospreay on the floor. Ospreay then got his knees up on a 450 attempt, and Ospreay hit a Snapdragon suplex on Nick Jackson. Omega and Ospreay then started exchanging hard forearms. Ospreay hit a Liger Bomb on Omega. The Bucks double team Fletcher and hit a double super kick V-trigger combo on Omega with Omega to get a 2. Nick Jackson then went for the Meltzer driver, but Ospreay cut him off with an Os Cutter and then hit Matt Jackson with a spike tombstone, but Jackson kicked out. The Elite then hit triple super kicks on Fletcher. The Elite then hit Ospreay with the Indie Taker, and then Omega hit Fletcher with a V-trigger and a one-winged angel to pin him and pick up the victory. This match, loads of fun. A lot going on, but loads of fun. And what I appreciated from this match was it wasn't your typical Young Bucks move match. It felt like they actually let things breathe. They would do a move or a spot, and there was just a little bit of not a pause, but it was enough of like, not just boom, 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 spot, but it would be like spot, a couple smaller moves, set up, spot. Couple smaller things, set up, spot. It wasn't just spot, boom, spot, boom, spot, boom, spot, boom, like we see in a lot of these 6-man tags and a lot of these just go out there and give it your all Young Buck matches. I appreciate that things were spread out and it wasn't just so much that you couldn't follow at times. Because we see that a lot, especially in like Omega and Ospreay matches, where it's just like so much stuff happens that you almost can't keep up. They actually spread stuff out in this match, which I appreciated. With that, the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, will move on to the pay-per-view. They will challenge for the championships. Well, not challenge, they will fight for the brand new titles, the Trios Championships, and who I believe will be, the Trios Champions will be, not the Trios Champions, but the challengers will be the Dark Order and Hangman Page. It ain't going to be freaking best friends. It is not going to be best friends. Not at all. But with that, that is everything that I thought and everything that I liked and everything that, I appreciated, I guess you could say, regarding tonight's AEW Dynamite. Now, pay-per-view on Sunday. I'm pulling up the card. Before we talk about that, though, we're going to talk about a little sponsor of this video. That is Wrestling Vintage. Now, you may see the shirt I'm wearing, the soccer jersey that I'm wearing. It's got a Union Jack on it. It's got the British Bulldog logo right here. A Bulldog logo. And it says on the back, Bulldog. Well, you like this? You like some of their other shirts as well, because Wrestling Vintage is bringing you guys wrestling-themed soccer jerseys themed after a number of different professional wrestlers. As we see here onto the screen, Wrestling Vintage, go to WrestlingVintage.com, and you can get your own wrestling-themed soccer jersey, whether that is a jersey based off of the Nature Boy Ric Flair, The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Rowdy One, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Latino Heat Eddie Guerrero, or more. They have something that I believe will fit your fit, that you will like. And for our listeners, our viewers, our followers, use code PWUnlimited10 at checkout to get 10% off of your purchase. Again, head over to WrestlingVintage.com and get one of their very, very, very cool wrestling, I guess you could say, football jerseys, or as we say here in America, soccer jerseys, as they are all themed off of, gear from different pro wrestlers like Bam Bam Bigelow, like Mankind, like Papa Shango, the Ultimate Warrior, and others. Again, use code PWU10 at checkout, and you will get 10% off of your purchase. Again, I like it. They're very comfortable. They're very nice. I've been wearing this one all day. I've also got the Ric Flair one. I've also got the Stone Cold Steve Austin one. They are very nice, comfortable. They breathe very well, especially here in California. Great to wear when it's 110 degrees outside. So yeah, I recommend them. I think they're comfortable. I think they're great. I mean, like I said, it's hot as heck outside here, and these breathe so well in the heat. Head over to WrestlingVintage.com and use code PWU10 at checkout to get 10% off your purchase. But as we move forward, we've got predictions for the pay-per-view this weekend. AEW All Out. Pulling up the official card. That way I don't miss anything. 14 matches have been announced in total. 3 on the pre-show, or what they're calling now the 0 hour. And 11 on the main card. Let's jump right into it. First off, on the 0 hour, we do know that Tomohiro Ishii will be taking on Eddie Kingston. Now, these two haven't met before on a New Japan Strong show in Washington, D.C., where Ishii did pick up the win. So I think on his turf, Kingston beats Ishii. With the All-Atlantic Championship on the line, Pac will be defending against Kip Sabian. I say Pac retains. I mean, why give it to Kip Sabian? I don't even believe that Kip Sabian should be in the actual title match here. So I don't think there should be a title change. Rounding out the 0 hour pre-show, Hook will be defending the FTW Championship against Angelo Parker. It's just I'm just going to say right now, Angelo Parker is just somebody the Hook can go out there and tap out. Hook's going to throw him around for a minute, put him in the red rum, and tap him out. All it's going to be. Hook retains the title. As far as the main card does go, we do know that we have the finals of the AEW Trios Championship Tournament. It is the Elite, Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, taking on either the Dark Order and Hangman Page, or Best Friends and Orange Cassidy. I believe it's going to be Dark Order and Hangman, and I believe the Elite walk out victorious. There is the slight chance that because they've got Hangman, they pull out the underdog. Oh my God, I didn't expect that victory. There is that slight chance, and I wouldn't be shocked by it. And then it just enrages the Elite more to beat the shit out of Dark Order going forward or something, and it starts a big feud there. But I think you put them titles on the Elite. I'm going the Elite. In a 6-man tag team match, or as they say, a trios match, Wardlow and FTR will be taking on the team of Jay Lethal and the Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, you're not going to beat the champs. Wardlow and FTR, the TNT champion and the ROH, IWGP, and AAA tag team champions FTR, and I think they pick up the victory. Baby faces win. But a fatal 4-way for the interim AEW Women's World Championship. It's Toni Storm, Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter, and Hikaru Shida. I'm going to go Toni Storm picking up the victory, since we learned that the original plan for this pay-per-view was Toni Storm walking out the champion, beating Thunder Rosa. We then have the Casino Ladder match, which I kind of can't give a prediction for, not knowing who the Joker is going to be. But in this match, it is Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, Penta El Zero Miedo, Rey Fenix, Rush, Andrade El Idolo, and Dante Martin, and like I said, a mystery Joker opponent. I don't know who the Joker is going to be. Maybe it's W. Morrissey, and they showed their hands tonight saying, hey, he's here. But then them thinking, well, if we show him on Dynamite, they may not expect him at the pay-per-view, and then we could put him in the ladder match. But I don't have a prediction for this one, not knowing who the mystery person is going to be. It could literally be anybody. I mean, they've got Ishii from New Japan, so it can literally be anybody from New Japan, too. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like... no, I was going to say Tanahashi, but I doubt that. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's like a New Japan person. Screw it. Give me Filthy Tom. I doubt it. No, it can't be Filthy Tom. He's working the freaking mixed tag against Bryan Alvarez this weekend at the GCW Black Label show. We have Bryan Danielson against Chris Jericho. I'm going to go Jericho. I think Jericho picks up the victory, if I'm going to be completely honest. Tag team titles will be on the line when Swerve and Our Glory defend those titles against the Acclaimed. I'm going to say Swerve and Our Glory. Acclaimed didn't do much to earn this. It was basically Swerve and Our Glory going, we like you guys. We're going to give you a title shot. Hence what I talked about earlier, people just getting given shit. So I think in that regard, Swerve and Our Glory retain the titles. Jungle Boy's taking on Christian Cage. I'm going to go Jungle Boy. Ricky Starks takes on Powerhouse Hobbs. They're building up Ricky Starks pretty good as the underdog. Why not give him the victory? Ricky Starks. TBS title will be on the line when Jade Cargill defends against Athena. Jade needs to lose eventually, but I don't see it here. Jade retains the title. House of Black will be taking on Miro, Darby Allin, and Sting. And I'm going to go Babyface is picking up the win. Miro, Darby, and Sting picks up the victory here. And finally, Jon Moxley defending the AEW Undisputed World Championship against CM Punk. They're going to flippy-flop it, and I say CM Punk wins in Chicago. CM Punk gets the big title win in Chicago, in Chi-Town, in the second city, in his hometown, because they want to hear what that pop is going to sound like. So I say Punk beats Moxley. But then, if Punk fucking beats Moxley, then they're going to go, well, we need a rubber match. Moxley won the first match. Punk won the second match. Who's the true world champion? I'm going to say they're going to frickin' do a third match probably. I guess they need something for the frickin' the tennis show. Grand Slam. But with that, those are my predictions for this Sunday's AEW All Out pay-per-view, which tonight on Dynamite, good old Jim Ross called All In. He literally said, this Sunday at All In. And I'm making this shit up. He called it All In. But those are my predictions for All Out. Let me know your predictions in the comments below. Who do you think walking out victorious on Sunday? All right, guys. Now it's time to hear what you thought of tonight's show. Remember, you can let me know by texting in to 510-906-1341. Again, that's 510-906-1341. Also, let's check the polls really fast. As far as the Twitch poll does go, 83% liked tonight's show, and 17% didn't like Dynamite. As far as the Twitter poll does go, 74% liked the show, 15% 15% didn't, and 10% thought it was just all right. And finally, the YouTube community poll. 59% liked the show, 26% thought it was just all right, and 15% did not like Dynamite. This person says, no matter how bad everyone wants him to fail, CM Punk stays reminding everyone why even legends respect him as a legend. Okay. Also, there's somebody on the show tonight, I can't remember who it was now, that Jim Ross called a legend, and I'm like, wait, what? Person's like only been around since AEW started. Like, what? I forget who it was. Oh man, there was somebody that he called a legend. The legend. Hold on. Who was it? He called somebody a legend, and now it's gonna bug me not being able to remember who that was. Still somebody where I'm like, this person ain't a legend yet. What if, I don't know. First says, good show. First says, I need Kenny versus Ospreay at Grand Slam or Wrestle Kingdom 17. That'd be dope. I think they do it at Wrestle Kingdom. That'd be actually really good to see. And we got 2 text messages here. This person says, who will be the next challenger for the Undisputed Championship? Well, we know. It's freaking CM Punk. And this person says, very off topic. I'll read the whole thing. Fuck it. Very off topic, but important question. So I'm going to WrestleMania. So my question is, for the Raw and SmackDown after WrestleMania, do you have to buy separate tickets or can you use your... No. Separate tickets. Separate tickets. You got to buy a ticket to WrestleMania. You got to buy... If you're going both nights, you got to buy 2 tickets. Then if you want to go to Raw, you got to buy a separate Raw ticket. Then if you want to go to SmackDown, you got to buy a separate SmackDown ticket. They don't do buy one ticket and get into everything. Because honestly, I don't even think... Thinking about it, they haven't announced where Raw after Mania and SmackDown after Mania is going to be. I would assume at least the Raw after Mania is Staples Center. Well, Crypto.com Arena. I'm never going to get used to that. Especially being from California, being a Lakers fan, and always saying Staples Center, even though Staples Center has only been a thing since 1999. But I digress. Basically, my whole growing up as a Lakers fan, it was Staples Center, Staples Center, Staples Center once they left the Forum. But anyways, I think next year's Mania is in LA. Maybe they go Staples Center for Raw, but I don't know where they would go for SmackDown. I don't know if they stay in the LA market or maybe they venture out to Vegas or Arizona, like Phoenix area. Maybe they go north and they go to like San Francisco. Maybe they go, So if that would be the case, then they couldn't do, buy a WrestleMania ticket and also... that ticket gets you into Raw and SmackDown the next week. I don't think they can do that, especially if, like I said, I don't think Raw or SmackDown on Friday is going to be in the same market. Oh, we may have some breaking news from Fightful. We're going to talk about this right now. Hold up. Somebody being let go by AEW? What the fuck? Someone being heavily pushed by AEW. Hold on. So, according to a new report from Fightful, Bobby Fish will not be retained by All Elite Wrestling. They're letting Bobby Fish go. Hence, I think, why Bobby Fish has been talking some good talk about Triple H recently. He did an interview recently and was like, I would go to bat for Triple H and his booking and this and that. No, he needs a job. So, according to a new report from Fightful, they do state Bobby Fish's time with AEW may be coming to an end. Fish has been missing from AEW programming in recent weeks, and the reason for that is now clear. We're told that Fish's contract is coming up, and he will likely be finishing with the company when it does, with the deal not being renewed. Fish last appeared on the August 3rd edition of AEW Dynamite when the Undisputed Elite returned. Fish, Adam Cole, and O'Reilly betrayed the Young Bucks to seemingly launch some sort of a program, but they haven't been seen since. Now, here's the interesting thing. You would think, okay, Bobby Fish, if his contract's coming up, O'Reilly's contract's got to be coming up as well. That's not the case. that's not the case as well, because we know that Bobby Fish, his contract may be coming up right now. Kyle O'Reilly? I got it right here. Kyle O'Reilly's contract is not up till December 26th, 2026. December 2026. Like, oh, you bring in Red Dragon, but not even sign them to similar deals? Like, oh, snap. Oh, snap. So we'll see where this goes. But Bobby Fish, the odd man out here for some reason. This is very interesting. Very weird. Because it's like, why let him go? You've literally got Undisputed Era, Red Dragon right there. And you just don't want them? You don't want them? One of the greatest tag teams of the last generation, the last decade. One of the greatest factions of the generation in the Undisputed Era. And you're just going to wash your hands with Bobby Fish? All right, here's what we need. Here's what we need. Bobby, you go back to WWE. Your buddy Roddy is on the outs with his group Diamond Mine. So why not bring him back with Roddy? And then they challenge the Creed brothers for the tag titles when I believe the Creed brothers retain or defend and unify the belts at the pay-per-view this weekend. Then we kind of have Undisputed Era back-ish, WWE and NXT, and then maybe bring them to the main roster tag team. I think Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong would be a great tag team in WWE. Do it. Do it, Hunter. Do it. That's out of left field. I didn't expect that one. Bobby Fish being let go by AEW. Holy shit. With that, guys, that's going to wrap everything up. That is going to wrap up this AEW Dynamite review. Again, we will be back Friday morning for the wrestling wrap-up, and then Friday evening for SmackDown and AEW Rampage. So with that, guys, have a great rest of your Wednesday. Have a great Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and whatever. I tried not to burp into the microphone there. We're going to be busy all this next week. Have a great night. I'll see you next time. Have a good one, guys.